Now, Final Score with Nick Walters on Fox 16.
You guys won it bad. All right, great job. Enjoy it. Big win. Here we go. Great win.
It was a weekend unlike any other in college basketball. The top 6 teams in the nation all lost on the same day for the first time ever. And Arkansas had to have a hand in history, knocking off number 6 Kentucky. Be it shots as far back as Little Rock or slams heard statewide, the world takes note as Notae puts on a clinic. Muss improves to 22-4 against ranked teams as the head hog, and these red-hot Razorbacks earn their 13th win over their last 14 games, all in front of another sellout crowd. The Razorbacks entered this one ranked number 18, despite pulling off upsets like a magician pulling rabbits from a hat. So silencing their critics yet again was again in store. A fast start vaulted the Hogs to a big lead, but the Wildcats would slowly chip away and jump out in front. After many lead changes, Arkansas did what's become second nature, finish. J.D. Notae had an outer body experience with his play throughout this one, and clutch free throws put Kentucky to bed. Arkansas is now 4-0 against ranked teams this season, beating number 1, number 6, and number 16 in the last 3 weeks. With 2 games left in the regular season, it's getting hard not to believe in these Hogs.
You know, I mean, if you're playing ranked teams and you go 500, sometimes that's pretty good, you know. But there's just they're not satisfied. They have a lot of belief in themselves as a group. Otherwise, you can't win like that against ranked. I mean, they're not just ranked teams. I mean, you're talking about teams that are highly ranked. I mean, especially Auburn, obviously being one, and then Kentucky where they're ranked.
We just want to win each and every game, no matter if they ranked or not. We've been on the side of being ranked, unranked, playing, so we just want to keep winning and worry about the rankings later.
Going into the game, no matter what they ranked or which team it is, we just go in there with our game plan. You know, if we take care of what we need to take care of, we feel like we got a good enough chance to get the dub. So I think, it's good to be 4-0 against those teams, but at the end of the day, we just try to win every game that's in front of us.
We ran some pick and roll sets at a little bit different angle than we have at times, and when Kamani was in there, he was rim rolling. When Jay Will was in, he was short rolling. We ran some pick and rolls with Stan as a screen setter on the wing that we haven't done much of late. No one's going to talk about Trey Wade, but I thought he got us going early in the game. He had a dunk. He had a good slip to the screen. A DC, Tony, if you just look at his box score, whatever. But he guarded Grady. A lot of guys stepped up and did a lot of small things, but we just made some big shots and some big free throws at crucial times.
Fighting for one another, knowing each possession going to be hard when you're playing against a good team like that, and just having each other back.
We just be trying to find a way to win at the end of the game. That's the biggest thing for us. We just, in the huddles, we just try to do our best to stay composed when the game gets close like that. So
yeah, we talked about it at one of the timeouts when we got down 1. I kind of looked, and not that I ever smile much, but I felt like I cracked a smile and said, hey, we would have maybe taken this 2 hours. It's a 1-point game, and there's 8 minutes to go. 8 minutes 44. I don't know what the time was on the clock, but it's just big deal. Like we come down, we score, and we're up. Like we got a lot of areas that we can keep improving on. Again, I've never been happier and prouder to be, and it's a fun group. Like we're having a blast. We're grinding in practice, and but we're having fun too. And you want your student athletes to have an experience of a lifetime and to play in front of that crowd and to be able to win. But we got to get ready for LSU too. That's part of the package as well.
Well, there's no way to overlook Notae now. J.D. Notae put on a scoring display against Kentucky that wasn't just great, but historic. He becomes the first SEC player to post 30 points and 8 assists against the top 10 team ever. Whatever J.D. wanted against Kentucky, it was his to have, be it inside, mid-range, deep, or back. Notae was a marksman, shooting 50% from the field. And what a story the senior has had to get to this point. Starting off his college career in the ASUN, transferring to Arkansas in 2019, but being forced to sit out the season, being the SEC Sixth Man of the Year in 2021, and now competing for a conference scoring title. We all knew he could shoot, but Notae is becoming a court general as a point guard, and he's only getting better.
Yeah, I think he's one of best players in the country, and he's growing too. I mean, he's been a scorer his whole life. He's a natural two guard that needs to continue, to convert to play that one spot, and he's seeing the game a little bit different, more as a point guard of late. Although he's, tonight we needed him to score a lot. Virtually an impossible guy to guard one-on-one, and that's why his line looks like it did.
Just taking what the defense give me. So just get to my spots and just trust in the work that we put in each and every day and just go out there and play with confidence.
Yeah, it's incredible. He's one of the best players in the nation. So it's good, comforting knowing that you're going into the game with a guy like that. Playing in a big game like that. He takes pressure off of all of us. Just knowing what he's able to do out there, and it shows how type of player he is when he's showing up in these games like this. 50%, 30 points against one of the best teams in the nation. At home, so we were able to defend home court, and it's just special to be able to play with a guy like that.
You can never discount the importance of Jalen Williams to this team. Notae may have stole the show in the first 35 minutes, but it was the home state Hog coming up clutch in the final 5. He hit a few crucial baskets and a pair of free throws to seal the deal, in the process recording his 11th double-double on the year. Williams posted 16 points and 12 boards on Saturday, and it didn't come easy. He went up against one of the best big men in the nation, Kentucky's Oscar Tshiebwe. Not only did Williams had to battle himself, he was fighting sickness and nausea out of halftime.
Because Jay Will was sick at halftime. Didn't know what we were going to get out of him energy-wise, and he kind of sucked it up and fought through it.
Yeah, at halftime he was throwing up and whatnot. Like he wasn't really feeling his best today, but he was fighting down there with one of the best big men in the country. So I think he was just doing a good job fighting. It's a tough matchup, but at the end of the game he hit some big shots down the stretch. He went 6 for 7 from the line, and he was a big reason why we got the dub.
Came back out, kept fighting. We told him we got his back. He made some big plays down the stretch late, and we got it done.
Well, the big win does move around the SEC standings. Arkansas leapfrogs Kentucky for a tie at that 2 spot. And don't look now, but Auburn is officially in a slump. While the Razorbacks' trajectory is up, Auburn's is down, falling to then unranked Arkansas and Florida, and on Saturday falling again to Tennessee. So buckle up for this coming week. 2 games remain in the regular season. Auburn faces 2 unranked teams in Mississippi State and South Carolina. So it's unlikely Arkansas can win the SEC, but as Jim Carey said, you're telling me there's a chance. But what the Razorbacks are focused on is their own home stretch, hosting LSU and then visiting Tennessee, as Arkansas tries to stay firing on all cylinders heading into the SEC tournament.
I've just been so impressed the way that we played throughout this whole, streak. When we struggled early, we talked about trying to get hot at the right time. We have 2 games left, obviously, in the regular season. 3 or 4 weeks ago, everybody was talking about our schedule, and we still have 2 incredibly tough games, one at home, one on the road. They weathered a really, really tough schedule, and not only did they kind of weather it, but they dominated it by winning basketball games, quite frankly, against some incredible teams. That Kentucky team can win a national championship. The Tennessee team can win a national championship. They're Final Four caliber. Really tough teams. Auburn is a team that could win a national championship. So, we knew that the schedule was really, really hard towards the end of the season. And the most impressive thing is you win a big game, whether it be Auburn or Tennessee, and you come back and you're ready for the next game. They're still student athletes. Like, these are not grown professional athletes. The mental toughness of putting a game behind and coming back. Same thing. We lost at Alabama, and we thought we played really well. We just lost. And they didn't listen to any outside noise. They got ready for the next game, and it's hard to do for college players, night after night after night, towards the end of a long season with a limited, we're not playing a lot of guys, and they got great toughness. They're in a great groove as well.
The world already didn't know, and they do now. It is hard for an opponent to win at the Bud. But up next, we're going to bring in the man who knows all about Arkansas hoops. Real Deal on the Rock founder Bill Ingram will talk Hogs and what their winning ways means for recruiting.
You're watching Final Score on Fox 16.
The Razorbacks just keep on rolling. We're flipping the calendar to March, and yet Arkansas has not lost a game since early January, except for that one loss to Bama 2 weeks ago. So for more insight on these hot Hogs, let's welcome in Bill Ingram, a man who's seen this team evolve over the years and is very in tune with in-state recruits. Bill is the founder of Real Deal on the Rock and president of the AAU Arkansas Hogs. So Bill, what's the initial thought that goes on through your head when those clocks hit double zeros at Bud Walton and the Hogs pull off their third upset over a ranked team in the last month?
Just an incredible turnaround from that 0-3 start in conference. Every time these guys win one of these big games, you just think about what a great job Coach Musselman is doing and what an incredible turnaround.
Unbelievable stuff. You know, the last time we had Bill on the Final Score, it was when the Hogs had lost 5 of 6, and now it is a different ball game 2 months later. They've won 13 of their last 14. So, Bill, a 75-73 win over number 6 Kentucky. What jumps off the page to you about this team that's making the run possible?
Well, they're the hottest team in the country. I mean, you look at they won 13 out of 14 in the teams they beat. They're the hottest team in the country right now. And the sky's the limit. And the thing is, now we are expecting them to win these games when they play these games. So, like I said, they just are a hot team right now. Coach is doing a great job. Players doing a great job of playing and executing the coach's plan. And that's why they continue to win these big games. Like I said, they're the hottest team in the country right now.
No doubt, Bill. You know, a big reason why we saw it on full display on Saturday was J.D. Notae. He became the first SEC player ever to score 30 points and have 8 assists against a top 10 team. So you saw him ball out and go out of his mind yesterday, Bill. Tell me about what kind of talent that guy has.
Well, you know, J.D. is right now, he's doing everything. I mean, he's defending, he's scoring the basketball at a high clip. He's assisting. He's making all the gritty, dirty plays. He's on the ground. He's on the floor, going after loose balls. I mean, he's doing everything it takes for a great player to win.
No doubt, Bill. You know, there is 2 games left in the season for these Hogs. They're tied for second in the SEC after that Kentucky win. LSU and Tennessee are dead ahead. It's going to be a big one next Saturday when they visit Tennessee. But what do you think this team's potential is, not just the next week, but as we really go forward into SEC tournament play and beyond?
Well, the SEC, first of all, they of course they need to finish up strong. That's going to be a huge game when they go to Tennessee, but also don't let the LSU game be a sleeper game, because LSU is a very talented team as well. And the way the SEC is laid out this year, any of 4 or 5 teams can win the SEC tournament if they get hot. Now, Arkansas is the hottest team right now. It'd be great if they can continue that until the SEC tournament. And if they can win that, there's no telling what kind of seed they can get. Maybe a 2 or 3 seed in the NCAA tournament, but they're heading in the right direction, and they're winning with great team play and great defensive play.
As Musselman said, they're not just beating ranked teams, they're beating very highly ranked teams. Number 1, number 6, number 16. So it's a very exciting time for fans. And a lot of these fans think that the Hogs are playing for now, but what real college basketball analysts like yourself know is that they're also playing for the future. Here's Eric Musselman talking about recruiting and how the Bud Walton Palace being packed every single game night is making a difference on the recruiting trail.
This place is magical when you're winning. And I think from a recruiting standpoint, it does nothing but help you. And when teams on campus are winning and there's crowd generate and there's our recruits enjoy going to baseball games. It's an insane environment there. You know, it's a little bit harder in our season to get our recruits to come here because they're playing games as well. I think anytime you have crowd support like we do and the other programs on campus, it makes it pretty magical.
We just saw Arkansas reel in one of the best signing classes they've ever had in basketball, and they're still trying to get Anthony Black out of Duncanville, who visited an Arkansas game a week ago. So having these jam-packed games at Bud Walton, players visiting baseball games, going to the football games. Bill, what do you think the atmosphere is like right now in Fayetteville that's helping to lure recruits?
Well, it's off the charts, and that's the best time in the world for recruits when they can come to campus and see the excitement and feel the energy. I mean, you think about it right now, Arkansas basketball is probably the best atmosphere in the country right now. It's some great atmosphere in the country, but most of them are 8, 9, maybe 10,000 seat arenas. You got 19,000 seat arena filled up, and people are going out of their mind every game. That's a great atmosphere. When players come to campus, those are things that they like to see, and make a campus attractive to them. The kind of support that the fans are giving the team. And Arkansas is A1 with that right now. So it's great for recruiting. It's great for all sports: football, basketball, track, soccer, baseball. It's a great time up at the U of A right now as far as recruiting and fans showing their support for the team.
No doubt it is on fire there in Fayetteville, and all the fans and even the recruits are starting to love it as well. Now, Bill, one last question for you. We still have 2 games left in the Razorbacks basketball season, but the high school basketball season in Arkansas just wrapped up. We have so many recruits to talk about, but I want to narrow down on one, because North Little Rock star Nick Smith, the Razorback signee, the McDonald's All-American, he has been on fire this entire month. He's been just tearing through competition in 6A, and many people think that they're an easy winner of the 6A state championship. But of course, Nick Smith, he's not going to say it's a done deal until it is done. But I want to have you just give us your insight onto his game and how it's evolved there at North Little Rock.
Well, he's a complete leader, and I'm gonna tell you, when I watch Nick play, what I look at as a complete winner. He probably, if he wanted to, he could probably go out and score 40 points a night. But he knows that probably wouldn't be best for the team. So now you're watching him. He's distributing. He's getting everybody involved. He's making sure that all those guys touch that basketball. And then he's also scoring at a high clip whenever really he's picking his spot and scoring whenever he wants to. But you're seeing a great team player, and he's involved, and he's involving himself into a great team leader. And I love watching him play. I mean, it's because he's playing the game at a beautiful pace and a beautiful way.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun to see Nick Smith and North Little Rock in their chase for another state title in the next few weeks, along with Magnolia and Razorback signee Darian Ford, Joseph Pinion. They're at Morrilton, so a lot of fun in the next few weeks. But we appreciate your time so much, Bill, and all the awesome insight on those hot Razorbacks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, well, coming up, Wes Moore catches up with Reggie Swinton, a Little Rock native who is being inducted in the Kentucky Pro Football Hall of Fame. You don't want to